Good evening, Junkie Nation. We're tonight's entertainment. I'm your host, Simon Says. You. And who are you again?
Mega Sean.
Great Dadakuji. And the man, the myth, the legend, Hokuto Shinken's himself, Kenshiro.
What is going on? Oh, no. I'm here, legend. I am right here. I am right here. Absolutely. You spoke too soon.
Yeah, he did speak too soon.
Spoke too soon.
But tonight we're going to be talking about, we did get a chance to see Superman yesterday and stuff to talk about. And also, what's going on with all these remakes? There's a new remake coming out, Running Man. What's up with that? Let's talk about that. Simon Says, let's get this show on the road.
What's first though?
First of all.
What up?
Can I give this man some props for doing an absolutely original, clean show open? Kudos to you, my friend. Kudos to you. Very well done. Well done. Well done.
I actually had that in the pipe. I was ready for that.
Oh, he was ready. Okay.
Yeah,
okay. Even better.
I had that. Just like off the rip. Just like had that in the pipe. Yeah.
Yes, he did sound ready. All right, fellas. Are we talking Superman first?
Hell yeah.
Are we just getting it right out of the way?
We gonna get that, man. Like I said, man, like this popping, man. We need to talk about that Superman, and then I think we need to jump into the remakes last because that's gonna be one of those things that
It's a lot.
It's a lot because like we got that remakes for days.
Absolutely. Also, we don't want to let everybody know that's worried. We're not going to spoil the movie because at all. Remember, the movie's not out really.
No, it's not.
We saw a preview.
We saw like a 2-hour preview.
There's some stuff that can be spoiled.
Superman and Lois kiss.
That's not it.
Okay, that's spoiled.
Okay, so let's say this then. We can spoil whatever was in the trailer. If you saw it in the trailer, then we can talk about it. If you didn't,
People
see
might
the trailer,
not have watched it.
we'll see. Okay, let's just talk around it then, if we as best as we can. So, question for you that I threw out to everybody that is sitting across from me over there on that lovely couch. I asked everybody last night after we got out of the theater, using basically a sentence. Finish this sentence. Superman is blank. So let's lead it with that. So fellas, I'm gonna throw it to Mega Sean because he had the most non-committal answer whatever.
He talked him in the building. He's like,
he did talk him in the building. He said, "Watch the show." So Mega Sean, Superman was
this Superman.
Yeah,
Yes.
this most recent one.
This
This
most
most
recent
recent Superman.
the one that we just saw. Yes.
Emotional.
Could you elaborate?
Sure. Well, he had just said I thought
Could
it was
you
like a
retort?
one-word situation. For me, again, the movie, I enjoyed the movie. For me, God, supposedly anybody you get in an argument with, nobody can ever beat Superman. And in this version of him, definitely more vulnerable than I had ever seen before. And not in a bad way, but I don't want Homelander, but then I just want, just sometimes you got to just throw somebody into the sun, man. That's how I feel about it.
Oh, so you wanted Injustice Superman? That's what you're trying to say.
I mean, somebody who deserves it, but he was
Somebody just let go.
right, and not emotional necessarily in a bad way. Not like what everybody's saying in regards to Snyder, Gunn, not like that. Wrong with color. It was he. He was just he was vulnerable. There we go, vulnerable. Based off what everybody says, how strong he is. Nobody can ever beat him. Somebody whooping his ass.
So you know what it sounds like to me? It sounds like you are actually talking about Superman, the character, as he was portrayed. Let me rephrase. How was Superman the film that we just saw?
Oh, you said Superman.
I did say Superman. You're right.
Top to bottom, I enjoyed it. I minus the emotional stuff I just said, but I enjoyed the pacing. I saw a lot of people complaining online about stuff, which I don't understand. I understood everything. It made sense. I don't feel that the film felt rushed. I felt like everybody took their time. I look forward to taking either my youngest or both my sons to see it. You know, the oldest might want to take his lady or whatever, which is fine. But it was enjoyable. Like, and everybody in the showing we were in, as far as I know, themselves as well. So, I mean, there's stuff I could nitpick, but it's not necessarily film, just my own person.
Were you entertained?
Oh, for sure. For sure. And let me tell you, James Gunn, it's rare. It's rare that we get a brother on the screen who is allowed shine. But damn it, Mr. Terrific. Mr. Terrific was terrific.
Yeah, he was.
You know what? It was like James Gunn said, I remember what Fox did to you.
Yeah.
Not
And I'm
Fox
gonna
the
let you get
CW.
your shine.
Not Fox the CW. Yes.
No, Fox. No, we talking
Wasn't
about.
that-
If
Wasn't
you're
that
talking
who
about
they
Arrow, you talking about Arrow?
No, wasn't that who they
Terrific.
put? First,
No,
Oh, okay.
Whoa.
No,
Whoa.
he's right.
Whoa.
He's right. He's
right.
talking about
Make
Edie
no
Gathegi.
mistake. I will never in my fucking life
He's not making a mistake.
ever mention the cornrow transition, Mr. Terrific, ever.
No.
I won't even acknowledge that.
No, we talking about.
I'm referring to the
Darwin.
actor
He's
himself.
talking about the
We talking
actor
about
Edie
Darwin.
the actor
Gathegi.
himself who couldn't die.
Yes.
And then,
Darwin.
died.
In X-Men.
That's
Yes,
right.
that was Darwin in X-Men First Class. Yes.
When I tell you, I'm telling you, James Gunn
Yeah,
knew
he-
he was done wrong.
Yes.
And he said, I got you.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna give
don't
you a
worry
role
about it.
that you can
He was-
sink your teeth
Yeah,
in.
he was-
And he definitely did that.
And
Yeah.
for as not Superman as Superman was to me, I felt like he balanced it out perfectly.
Oh, yeah.
Like Mr. Terrific was Mr. Terrific. He was calculated.
Smart.
He was funny at times. He was a genius, and he was very what's the word? Not like very matter of fact. Like he
direct.
Oh yeah, he's very direct.
what did they try to make Drax?
Oh.
Like not with he's literal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
very literal, yeah,
And
straightforward,
he ain't got time for no shit. Ain't got time for no foolishness. Let me get in here. Let me get the job done. It was amazing.
Oh, he was so fucking hilarious.
Yeah, it was great. My turn? Is
Yeah,
it-
Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, I completely enjoyed the movie, and me personally have never been a Superman fan. I've enjoyed watching the movies, the ones that came out. Christopher Reeve Supermans. I enjoyed all of them. I don't remember the third one too much, but I'm pretty sure I didn't have a problem with it. It could have been corny at sometimes, 100%. And even Brandon Routh, which I sat in the theater and I leaned over to one of my friends. I don't remember which one. I was like, when he, stopped the freaking, airplane and then got shot in the eye.
Yeah.
And all that other stuff. And then, like, the movie was entertaining, but they did some stuff that was just like, okay, where are we going? And then you get, the cross between Batman and Superman, where he's just this dark and I don't know what the heck I'm gonna do, and I'm questioning everything type, Superman, and
Letting people die.
exactly letting his own dad die, where he can move faster than light and stop with a breath. He could just say, "Bye, tornado," whew, and the tornado's gone.
Yeah.
I was entertained, but it still didn't feel like a true Superman. To me, this felt like a true Superman. Yeah, was he a little bit toned down in his power a little bit? But from what I was told, Superman has not always been the end-all, be-all Superman type person where he can hold a black hole in his hand like he do in the comic book. He couldn't always do that. There was variations of Superman's strength over time, and this is just one of those variations. I was okay with that because it gives him some kind of conflict, because I like One Punch Man. One Punch Man has no conflict. Though I would like to see a Superman that is as powerful as One Punch Man. That's just like, for example, we all saw the episode of Superman where Darkseid came to Earth and did whatever, and Superman said, "You know what? I'm done playing nice. I'm letting go." And he finally let go. I want way past that let go Superman.
Yes.
That's not super evil. He ain't gotta be evil. He just, at the time, he's like, I know I can't I'm not gonna hold back because I can't. But regardless of that, everything to me felt like how Superman was. His charisma, his personality, everything that I would see. Because I don't read comics, as you guys know out there. I get my information from my friends, the internet, and various cartoons over the years. And I don't claim to be expert in all this other stuff. But he said, I get out here with those DC bribes. DC didn't bribe us. I was entertained by the movie. I liked it. Almost had a tear come out of my eye when I saw Mr. Terrific do things that he was doing. I was holding it back because I didn't want you guys laughing at me.
Here's my question to you, because you brought it up. You don't read comics like that.
I don't.
We've all grew up with Justice League cartoons and various, stuff. Was the characters, as they got introduced to you in the film, was that too much? Or were you just like, look, bring me new people, I'll figure it out as I go?
No, it was not too much. I mean, I know who everybody is, even Guy Gardner. I know a little bit about his background. I knew about it before he was in the movie. Because he hails, well, I don't know if he actually comes from that state, but I know he went to college in said
Oh,
state.
he's from Detroit.
Oh,
His
okay.
comic book background is from
So
Detroit.
we got 2 Green Lanterns that's from Detroit.
Man, that's everybody's from comic book wise.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's the name? What is it? Wasn't Star? Not Star
Vixen.
Life. No, Victor Stone.
And Al
Victor
Simmons,
Stone, Vixen.
Al Simmons, like,
Yeah.
all of them.
Al Simmons.
Okay, I mean, and again, I wanted to put that out there because one of the complaints, like you said, people are like, "Oh, it's too much stuff going on." It's like,
It was easy to follow.
yeah, if
It's
you
easy.
sit there
I
and
agree.
just watch
Yeah,
the movie
it's-
and don't go in there trying to be mad already right off the rip, everything kind of flows to me. Like the
100%.
movie, again,
One last thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry to interrupt, but just one last thing. That was the best iteration of Lex Luthor I have ever seen.
Yes.
Yes.
He was fucking evil.
Mhm.
And he was, I want to kill
Yeah.
Superman, which, from my understanding, that's how he is and has been portrayed in the comics. Yes, has he been an evil super genius? Yes, he has been a tech business, person. He's been the real estate guy as well. This motherfucker was evil.
And he was all of that.
yes,
he was
he
all of
was
those things.
all of that in this one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
let me step in here real
go
quick. So you're right about that, right? But I want to acknowledge everybody out there that you guys have been giving us some great chat stuff for us to go off of. We got to see the movie last night. We're here to tell you a non-spoiler review of our feelings of Superman as a film. It's highly recommended all of you go see it, but keep feeding us stuff in the chat. You can ask us questions if you feel like you want to ask us questions. We may or may not answer if they may traipse into spoiler territory.
Yeah.
But we want to be here to tell you that this movie is a absolute triumph, in my opinion, for DC Studios. They knocked it out of the park. But I'm gonna turn it back over to the fellas
No.
and
Pull-
you guys.
while you're there, pull something out of the chat.
Yeah. So one of the things I want to pull out of the chat is, and I didn't want to do this necessarily this week because I kind of want everybody to be able to go see it for themselves and then come back and then we can kind of try and compare. But I've been seeing people, like King Cam Moore saying Man of Steel is a great film and all this other kind of stuff. Legend 23KM, he's saying the same thing. You all know how I feel about Man of Steel as a film. I thought Man of Steel was a good start, but it wasn't a perfect Superman movie. Dido and Megatron, would you say that this movie is a much better Superman film, period, than Man of Steel was?
For me, 100%, because he didn't portray as Superman. He didn't feel like somebody who would. You remember what Captain America said to Tony Stank?
Yeah, you're not the man that's going to lay down on the wire and let somebody else crawl over you. You're not going to
Superman
sacrifice.
is that guy and has always been, from my understanding, throughout history. That Superman in Man of Steel was not that Superman. He would definitely not lay down. Now, did he do some heroic stuff in the movie? Most definitely. But he let his dad die.
Well, I think it's two parts with that, because what they in this movie, to me, addressed that and fixed that. Because what Snyder did with Superman in that is he forgot the reason why Superman was so motivated to help people and do good, because his father died from something he couldn't prevent. The tornado, we all know.
Yeah, he could
That quick, he
Yeah.
could have saved them. Nobody would have been the wiser.
I mean, when you saw him,
Right. Nobody would have saw it happen or whatever. His father dying from a heart attack, the way it happened in the Christopher Reeve and all
Can't
the
do
other
nothing about that.
continuities, you can't stop that.
Yeah.
Nope.
He literally says in the movie, I have all these powers and I couldn't even save him. So for you to take that out of his backstory, then have his father be a guy that's like, you know what? I don't know if you should have saved them kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look.
You already put him on this path where it's like, bro, he's about to be Injustice Superman if this keeps up.
Yeah.
You're not giving him that symbol of hope thing. So, but what's your take on it though? From Man of Steel versus the more recent one.
To briefly touch on what you just said. Listen, in regards to this Snyder, is this not the man that wanted Bruce Wayne compromised while he was in jail?
Yeah,
oh boy.
Yeah.
So
he was way off on
yeah,
his
so
interpretations.
right
What do you mean
now,
compromise?
as far as my
We'll tell you.
introduction,
Yeah.
as a child, briefly comics, so great. Oh my,
Animated series?
yes, but what is the McDuffie?
Oh,
Dwayne McDuffie, yes.
Dwayne McDuffie. His introduction, that was my true introduction, consistently, minus the Christopher Reeves movie, handful of books, and this was closest that I've ever seen. I've enjoyed them all, from Reeves to Dean Cain, briefly Brandon Routh to Henry to now. Because I don't know that much about him, and it's Superman. I expect what he's a little soft. He's a Boy Scout. He's going to do what's necessary, and that is exactly what this Superman did. He will lay his life on the line for whomever.
Even the smallest,
smallest
creature.
Yeah, like he was.
Yeah.
Now, is that something that I want to see? No, but he was that. He was Superman. That was the animated series Superman. And if you watched the show years ago, right, the cartoon that came out,
My Adventures with Superman, yes.
he's very close to that. So yeah, no issues at all.
Simon Says, what's your take on it, man?
It was basically exactly what.
And you
Snyder-
love Superman. I mean, you're a big fan, no?
He's more of a
How
Green
dare,
Lantern.
how dare you?
He's very.
I
good.
love
Oh.
Superman.
He loves Superman.
I
You're
love
a big
Superman.
fan.
How
Not him.
dare- my name is after him.
Well, there you go. When somebody loves Superman.
but I am a Green Lantern fan, so how dare you?
But you can approach it from more of a dyed in the wool comic book fan too.
Yeah. I mean, I have the comic books. I read Superman, you know, but yeah, it's basically what everyone has wanted. This character, he's basically a symbol of hope that because I can't even reveal it, but there's a scene. Well, no, this is one of the trailer scenes. I can spoil that part. One of the trailer scenes. I'm pretty sure everyone's seen it, where the kid raises the flag for Superman to come and save them. That's basically what he is. He's a symbol. And everyone is, using him as that flag bearer to help humanity. And the funny thing is, between, like you said, Lex Luthor, damn it, I'm trying to not.
It's hard, ain't
I can't, man. Hackman, man. I'm sorry, man, Hackman, but this Lex Luthor is something else, man.
Yeah.
He's that one. He's literally that asshole that says, I am smarter than you. I have a 12th level intellect, and you don't. Damn it! Didn't Mr. Retriever come in and say?
Oh man.
He could have said it though. I want him to say it like that. He should have said it like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was kind of. I was hoping that they did in the movie have something. God damn it!
I think the reason they didn't do that, and a whole bunch of stuff in the movie about how everything.
Oh man.
I think
man.
if Terrific would have kind of outshined Superman in that moment,
Mhm.
they would have never heard the end of it.
Yeah,
Because
of
yes,
course,
he,
sure.
he is clearly smart as Lex Luthor, if not
Yeah.
smarter.
No,
But-
in the comic book. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to
Oh,
interrupt.
no, go ahead.
No, in the comic book series, he's the third smartest human.
So that's
In the
what I'm
DC
saying. So
universe.
if they would
Lex
have
is number one.
yeah, that's what I'm
Lex is
saying.
number
If they
one.
would have threw that in there at that moment, oh god, I got the black guy coming in smarter than Lex. It's like,
No,
bro, just
just that,
you know.
I know what you're saying. It's just
Yeah.
they didn't. I mean, that would have made sense, but in that instant, it kind of propelled it. But yeah, no, it was all good, man. It's again, I enjoyed this movie. Probably gonna go see it again. I'm trying to hit a Waffle to see when he wants to go see it.
So if not, take the wife with you.
Did everybody go?
No, you gotta go.
Oh, I mean, really, and I want to highlight Marcus Pryor's thing. He said his best Lex Luthor was John Shea from the TV show Lois and Clark. Nicholas Hoult beats him, dude.
Yes, he does.
I'm
Nicholas
straight
Hoult
up.
beats everybody.
Nicholas Hoult is basically like when they, and I hate to even bring up his name. We all know who played him in Superman Returns.
His name is K.S.
Yeah, KS. When KS was cast, I thought we were about to get what we just got last night.
That's what-
Correct.
I was
For
like,
sure.
I was sitting there, I was
Correct.
like, oh, you got the most perfect person to be an evil, maniacal, and they're like, no, play Gene Hackman. I'm like,
Why?
why?
Yeah.
So Nicholas Hoult, when they first announced him, I'm going to be 100% honest, I was skeptical, but I remembered it's like, bro, he did Beast really well. Like, the guy can
He
act.
did.
Yeah, he's
So, like, he can act. So I was like, okay, shave his head, let's get to see. And then I saw that first trailer when he walked into the Fortress of Solitude and didn't give a fuck about anything around him. I'm like, that's Luthor. That's how Luthor is. He's got everything down to the calculated to the second. And he's like, I'm just gonna walk forward and keep forward on my path because I need to kill Superman. I'm like, that's exactly what I needed. And they finally, Michael Rosenbaum did great, but he was Luthor in his younger years, not quite in his prime. And unfortunately, they screwed him over in the contract, and they screwed a lot of those actors over in that contract. He left and didn't really get to finish out becoming the Luthor we all know. Nicholas Holt's got it beat. I'm sorry. Like, when you see how he is and how obsessive he is about getting Superman, it's spot on.
I'm glad you said that about him being obsessive over Superman. So, were you done?
Yeah.
Were you done? Okay.
Could you highlight Marcus real quick?
Highlight Marcus 864.
Yes.
So does this movie version of Lex is closer to Hackman or Clancy Brown animated version? Much closer to Clancy Brown.
Yeah.
However, there's a distinct difference, right? Whereas Clancy Brown was, cool and calculated, never really let his obsession show.
Yeah.
Nicholas Hoult, the personification of Lex Luthor is he has such a narcissistic personality because of his intelligence. He's young, he's brash, he's smart, he can outthink everybody, and he's like 1,200 steps ahead of everyone, right? But underlying that is this incessant need to be, to have the adulation, the love of everybody around, and say, "Oh my God, Lex, you're so great. You're this, you're that, you're that." That's the Lex we got in this film because. And when Superman has upstaged him for years, he's been waiting behind the scenes, secretly plotting ways to take him down. And he shows in this film a level of obsession that we have never seen in a live action Superman ever for Lex Luthor.
And you'd have to add, it's not like going back and forth. This is a battle Lex is having by himself.
Yes.
Like it's not like,
right.
Like Superman's aware.
Right.
Yeah. Like,
Clark does not acknowledge Luthor's existence. But Lex is so fixated on him as a personality because of who he is, what he represents. He resents him because he views himself as the height of human achievement.
Yeah.
And people
technically he is.
Yeah, and technically he is, except for not physically. Not physically, but mentally.
For sure.
He is the apex of what humanity could be, right? And that obsession, that drive to be acknowledged as the top of everything, the top of the food chain of humanity, we haven't necessarily gotten that in a Lex Luthor before. We got it now. This Lex Luthor is the greatest Lex Luthor we have ever seen. And I'm telling you all, when you watch him with that one scene, and GQ knows exactly the one I'm talking about. When Superman gets captured, man.
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna say anything, but
really.
I'm telling y'all, you gonna come back and be like, dude.
I have another question, ultimate question. Then, being that we all enjoyed this movie, and right now it might be projected to do box office level buku money or whatnot. Would y'all want this to keep going? Would you want to see a sequel to this movie?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Sequel, spinoffs, give me some Justice League. I don't care. Put it together. Do it. Grant Gustin is interested only if he can be the Flash again, and I say do it.
I would like it. What's your hesitation?
I don't. Well, patient. Talking about. In this,
We gonna have him.
And not yet.
That's
We
what
don't
they
have 'em.
say.
We said
That's
waiting.
what they
We
say.
gonna have him.
We waiting.
This is 2027. That ain't happening.
You know what? I want to throw this out to you guys. You know, this Superman's been operating for 3 years publicly. They acknowledged even in the beginning of this film that metahumans have existed for 3 centuries,
Right.
300 years. The first noble, metahumans on the Earth was like in America was sooner than that. And Superman came to Earth 30 years ago from the start of this movie, and he's been operating for 3 years. I love the three, the symbolism of the
They
threes,
skipped
right?
they skipped
Right?
the whole thing.
And it does make me wonder if Green Lantern's out there. You got Mr. Terrific, you got Hawk Girl, you got Metamorpho, you got all these other people. Batman obviously has existed, but unlike Snyderverse with Man of Steel, is this Batman going to be treated as more than just an urban legend? And he's going to be publicly known, and people just don't really mess with him like that because of how he is and his attitude, or like because I do wonder, does this Superman already know Batman? Who Batman
You need
is?
to get 1 or 2 Batmans.
I mean,
Adam West Batman.
No,
Yes.
no,
Yes.
no.
Boo this
Or-
man.
Or animated series Batman.
Animated
we get
series,
animated series for sure.
all day,
we
all
get-
day, every day.
But we're talking 5 years now.
And that's fine.
I don't even want to.
Here's why I'm not. Again, they rebooted the entire DC universe. They rebooted it, and to me, this is a good reboot because I like how Gunn basically said, "I am not doing no origin stories for the characters that everybody already knows their origin story. I ain't wasting no film on it. I ain't wasting no hard drive space. I'm just gonna give straight up you got to stay right on. That's what it is.
Actually,
Okay.
can you answer this one right now?
Oh, what's that? I guess
Marcus.
No spoiler. They're gonna go over his origin.
It's
No,
not a
they
spoiler.
skip it. They
No,
they don't
yeah,
even bother.
It's not a spoiler because Gunn pretty much said it himself.
Yeah,
They are not. Yeah, they are not.
That's what I
yeah.
wanted in Man of Steel, because
Yeah.
you heard me talking about that for ages. I was like, he should have already been established as Superman, and if they wanted to do flashbacks, they could have did the
For sure.
flashbacks.
Yeah.
But they could have showed him being Superman, saving the day up until the major threat came.
Yeah.
and that's how I would have did Man
Absolutely.
of Steel. But hey, I'm just a dude sitting on the couch talking about stuff with his friends.
I think one of the things that you can always look at with something like this, they are rebooting it with Superman, which in DC, Superman started all of it basically for the most part. So that's the tone. Once we get to Batman, Batman can be Batman
Yes,
because
he
that
can.
was the problem with Man of Steel. Superman was already kind of Batman in that universe, the way they were treating it.
Yeah.
It was like he was already the brooding hero, and I'm like, bro, that's Batman's job.
Yeah, but here's the thing that made it funny though. So we got a brooding Superman, but we got a Punisher Batman.
Yeah.
Because he was
pretty much, yeah.
He was off the hinges. He was like, what the? I mean,
I don't know.
he went through and just started killing everybody. I was like, what the fuck is this?
Okay, hold on. Legend. Nolan set the tone for Nolan's movies.
And ruined it.
No. I like Nolan's films, especially Dark Knight. Dark Knight to me, out of the stuff that Nolan did, was his best stuff because Heath Ledger did his thing and made
But
it.
that's
made it
because of
work.
Heath.
No, absolutely. Batman has always outside. If Batman isn't good, his villains are what draw you
For sure.
in.
For sure.
Yeah.
So Batman is like, okay, like for example, going all the way back to Kilmer and some of the other ones. We like Jack Nicholson's Joker. Yes, Keaton did his thing. It was cool, but Joker was who we were actually having fun with
sure.
in the film. Catwoman, of course, in the next movie because Michelle Pfeiffer did her damn thing.
Correct the mood, though.
And Danny DeVito as Penguin, as creepy and crazy as it was, they altered the Penguin from the comics and all that. Suddenly became more like that. So it kind of worked. Jim Carrey's Riddler, I personally didn't like it because he was basically another Joker.
Yeah.
He was Frank Gorshin.
Well, but Frank Gorshin was also
Riddler.
another Joker, even in the
Yeah.
old
Yeah,
cartoon.
he was. Yeah, he
I
was.
didn't like Two-Face because everybody knows Two-Face is one of my favorite dudes, and for him to
Exactly.
sit there flipping for a particular outcome, I'm like, you basically don't understand what Two-Face
wasted
is
him.
about.
Yeah, they
So-
wasted him.
And they kind of and again, Timothy Jones could have did great, but it was what it was. We're not
me,
even going to talk about Batman and Robin.
Yeah, let me
just leave it alone.
so let me give you guys like my full, feelings on this film and why it works so well. The personification of Superman you guys have touched on, they absolutely nailed that, but it's beyond that, right? They nailed Lois Lane, which is honestly almost a just important thing, because if the yin to Superman's yang is Lois Lane, and what I loved about this Lois, Rachel Brosnahan was phenomenal, right?
Is she related to Pierce?
She is Brosnahan.
Oh,
It's
Brosnahan. Okay, I don't
not
know why I
Brosnan.
thought it was Brosnan.
Yeah,
Okay.
Brosnahan.
All right,
Yeah,
sorry, go ahead.
Brosnahan. So Rachel Brosnahan is a phenomenal Lois Lane, and I dare say she may have raced to the top of possibly the best iteration of Lois Lane we had. Is she the best looking? No.
Oh, okay,
because Terry
never
Hatcher is
mind.
still that.
Hey, never
Terry
mind.
Hatcher is
Yeah,
still
hey,
that.
never mind then.
Terry
All
Hatcher
right.
is still the best looking Lois
Yeah.
Lane. But where this Lois Lane is good is because she's on equal footing with Superman. She's never afraid to challenge him. She's never afraid to challenge him on how he carries himself, what he chooses to do. When I tell y'all that scene that you've seen with the clips of the interview that Lois and Clark do in Lois's apartment, that scene was so impactful in how she was basically checking Clark on how he chooses to carry himself will be perceived by normal people, how it leaves him open to be misinterpreted. And Clark didn't get it because he's like, at the base of it, I just want to do good. Why can't I just do good without y'all questioning me? He's like, because Clark, the world doesn't work that way. Essentially, in a way, the world does not work that way. Everybody is going to question your motives, especially if you are not super clear with your intentions. Super clear, crystal clear, because there are people out there that will misconstrue. We see it on the internet every single day. Every single day. You say something completely innocent and they will twist your intentions to being something malicious. That's almost the theme of this movie, of how Lex was able to do this and basically make Superman public enemy number one. Because he said, I'm about truth, justice, and all that other kind of stuff. Well, Lex said, well, hey, I'm going to show you because you leave yourself as a goody two-shoes. We're cynical. This world is cynical. We don't trust you at base value. And I'm going to turn everybody against you. We've seen this in social media. It happens every single day. And it happened fast, just like social media does. So that interview was important. But beyond that, the lengths that she would go to uncover the truth, to help Superman when he was in trouble. She's not just a damsel in distress. She's smart.
She wasn't a damsel in distress
at all.
Yeah, that's
at
a
all.
shocking thing.
And she was so good at doing that. But we didn't talk necessarily about the Justice Gang. I thought Hawk Girl was good. I thought Nathan Fillion as Guy Gardner was great.
Yeah.
Some people are going to say something about maybe Crypto being in there and stuff like that. Crypto doesn't factor in. He factors in, but he's not that much of a distraction,
Bad
right?
dog.
And he's very good.
I don't
but
know about that.
What I mean by that is people were saying that Crypto is going to be so much of a fixture that it's going to be distracting. He's more of an addition, right? Like almost like a garnish on top of a really good meal, right? For me, I think the other really good thing to look at is that this film, from beginning to end, has established Superman for the new generation like we thought Man of Steel was going to. It does that.
All right. I mean, I will agree with you there. It's a good reboot or restart. Crypto to me was Brussels sprouts.
Bad dog.
And again, it's not that I disliked him. It's the first time we've ever had a live action Crypto. I get it. They had moments where he showed up, for me personally, too often.
And that's fair. That's fair criticism.
That's
And by no means should we say this film was perfect. It wasn't a perfect film.
Nothing perfect.
It was not a perfect film. There was some, and I listened to somebody else say this about their critique, and they felt like the pacing was a little bit rushed. It was like everything was happening so fast, but it wasn't in a way that was too detrimental to your enjoyment of the film. And which I can understand. That's a fair criticism, right? Because they were throwing a lot at you. Will you guys agree? Can you guys
I don't feel like
admit that you
thrown
didn't
at
feel like
me.
they were throwing a lot
I
at
didn't
you?
feel like a lot was thrown
Neither
at me.
did I.
Felt like it was easy to comprehend, and I didn't feel like I sat there for a long time.
No,
I
me
felt
either.
like it was just like, wow, this is cool. Oh my gosh. Oh yeah, no.
Here's what I say when people say to me, they feel like they threw so much at me. Either you, A, weren't watching with your eyes.
True.
Or B, you just, for whatever reason, need to go see the movie again because it's like, I had zero problems ingesting all of the information they gave, and it's like, okay, cool. You can get. I don't care how many characters you throw at me. I don't care how much backstory, how much science, how much whatever. If you sit there and watch the movie, you're good.
Yeah.
Why does the camera keep
Oh, sorry.
doing that? See that Stream Deck alone? I got it.
All right, so
Sure.
let's go ahead and give it, but just like hit 3-pointer and move on to the main event.
Well, Superman was the main event. It's
It
the
wasn't.
other. It's the other thing.
Superman was
Was
the
the-
garnish.
Well, that was the teaser.
Yeah,
Little whipped
exactly.
cream on
That,
top.
that was
Right,
the teaser.
right. That was the
Strawberry
that was
shortcake.
the appetizer.
That was the appetizer. The main, the main
Well,
course.
before we fully move off of Superman, let me ask you guys this. What would you give it if you were to rate it out of 5? Real quick, everybody around the room.
Was entertained.
Number.
I don't do numbers. I'm the man over here that watches bad movies.
Okay,
For
fine. So he
entertainment.
says for him
Oh.
it's a 3.
I didn't
'Cause
say
yeah.
that.
You essentially did. You was
No,
like,
I
was
didn't.
entertained.
like no, I didn't say
it's
that.
a 3.
The jury stands. I did not say that, and we can go back to the record. I was entertained. What was my
There you
man's
go.
name from Gladiator?
Are you not entertained?
Maximus.
Are you not
Decimus
entertained?
Meridius.
I was entertained.
There's
I don't
levels
put
of entertained.
numbers on things.
You know there's
I
levels
put
of
numbers in my
entertainment.
bank.
Oh,
Put
There
numbers
you
in my
go.
wow. I ain't putting numbers on the movie.
Mega Sean.
I also was entertained, but I'll say 3.75
All right.
All right, I'll give it a 4
out of 5.
Yeah, out of 5, I'll give it a 4.5. It was good.
Wow.
They finally gave me a Lex Luthor that I could, see as a role model and
And is that what carried it for you? Is that it was a great Lex
You got to
Luthor?
remember, as a kid, I like Superman. I like the idea of Superman. He's powerful, he's cool, and whatever. As I got older, villains spoke to me more.
Yeah.
It's just because villains are more interesting. In every single movie I watch, is usually the villain that draws you in, the person that gets stuff started, the person that robs the bank or kills, the family or whatever. That's the person that's always been interesting to me. You give me a really good villain, you got me. That's why Dark Knight always sits in my heart as like a great film.
Yes.
Heath did his thing.
Yes,
He did.
So
Yes, he did.
Nicholas Holt's Luthor
Yeah.
was exactly what I've been waiting because
Very solid.
If you look back at like we all mentioned it, the animated series, Clancy Brown's Luthor was solid.
yeah.
He was
Yeah.
good. He was
Yeah.
like it's like anytime he showed up, it's like, oh, this about to get good.
You know,
I loved his music too.
Yeah.
He had the best, his own theme music was so dope. I ain't gonna lie.
Absolutely. And if you get Darkseid right in this universe,
Oh
and
hell
give
yeah!
Superman a reason to have that moment, like you said, at some point down the line, they might be on their Avengers Infinity War level stuff with this if they keep it on that same pacing and try to move towards something like that.
Real quick, could you go up to MK prior 12? So, yes, I agree. Now, obviously, I'm not going to spoil anything, but that is how I always felt. If y'all going to let this ball bastard tell y'all what I'm doing, and if he happens to be wrong about me, figure it out yourselves. I ain't got shit to do with you. Save yourself.
No, and that's
Save yourself.
I got you.
And yeah, and that's what, save yourself. Because
Absolutely.
and if anybody don't want to listen, I'm gonna throw you into the sun.
But we know
but
that's
save
not the
yourselves.
case. That is
Right.
funny.
And that's
Henry
not
Cavill's
Superman.
Superman may have done
Right.
that.
That's funny.
But that's
For
not
me,
the
that's what I would want. But yeah,
That's funny.
All right,
yeah.
Simon says.
I give it a 5 because
Oh,
the reason why is like you said, we got a great Lex Luthor. However, damn it, I was fooled by the Ultraman because I wanted Ultraman.
Yeah.
Hey, don't go too far.
Mm-mm.
But
no,
I
no,
understand what you're saying.
Yeah, I
I
get
understand
you.
what you're saying.
I get
they
you.
They saw it.
They got
Oh.
you. Yeah, I get you.
What are you?
So for me,
wait, hold on, wait. Before you go, I'm sorry. What did you think of Guy Gardner?
yeah, that's what we really want to know.
Oh, he was dope. He was,
Okay.
he was dope as
Okay,
hell.
okay.
Now,
Not too
Yeah.
much because we still got to get to the other topic.
basically that's him. That's him
Oh, yeah.
all the
That
way.
is, that is Guy Gardner.
That
all
is
the way.
Guy Gardner.
Yeah, that is
And
Guy
Phil
Gardner. all
Fillion
the
is
way.
a perfect casting. For
Yes, he
that.
is.
Yeah.
All right, for
No.
me, it is an absolute 5 out of 5. A really great Superman movie. If you were, you know what, honestly, next week I want to come back and ask you guys, especially all of you out there, as soon as you go and see it, make sure you come back next week, Coach Junkies Live, because I want to do a ranking of all the Superman movies because we've had solo Superman movies. I think this makes number 5 or 6 or 1. Oh, yeah, 6.
The Superman
actually.
movies?
Of Superman.
Solo?
Of
Solo.
No, wait, 7. This would be 7 because Superman Returns counts as one. So we got 4 of the Christopher Reeve, 1 of Brandon Routh, 1 of Henry Cavill, and then now this one.
Yeah,
so this is 7.
Yeah.
So we got 7 to rank.
He's trying
once
to
you
catch
come
up
back,
to the Man in Black.
Listen. Yeah, we need to give a whole lot more. Absolutely after this, but it's a 5 out of 5. You guys absolutely should go and see it. Don't listen to none of them haters out there. I'm telling y'all, it is worth your time. It definitely will wash all the stink of the Snyderverse. If you didn't like DC before, you're gonna love it now. I promise you.
All right, before we go on to the next thing, could you go to Iguana Man's question? I mean, I'm sorry. Go up, right there. So I'm gonna ask that to all of y'all. How many movies think before he'd be ready for that battle?
It will not. He will never be ready.
This Superman
Period.
would get
Right.
wrecked. This Superman, the way he is now, right now, would get wrecked.
But that again, and I don't want to spoil anything.
For sure.
But we saw what the text said at the beginning. First time ever
he's
happened.
Right.
So
right.
he's definitely not going to be ready for that. He
Yeah.
doesn't even know that people out there are
He's gonna
like
get
that,
wrecked.
even way beyond
Right,
what
that's
he
what I was
faced.
saying. How many
Again,
movies you think?
Like I said, they have to build it up the same way Avengers
100%.
got built
I
up.
hope they build.
I hope so.
Yeah, and I'm glad they didn't try to do nothing crazy and like tease Darkseid or nothing. It's like
Yeah,
let that
not
happen when it happens, like just straight up. Like, cause otherwise it's like if they that's what messed them up the last time. They tried to rush and catch
Too
up
quick.
to they tried to rush and catch
It
up
was
to Avengers.
Justice League and Doomsday and then Darkseid. Whoa,
Yeah.
whoa.
Right.
Calm
Slow
down.
down.
Calm
Right.
down.
So it's like I want this one to just carry on, keep world building, keep
Let it
bringing
breathe.
people in. Yeah, exactly. They don't even have to worry about doing
No.
Batman versus Superman again. We've already had it.
Please don't do
100%.
that again.
And then I know I said one last thing. So, question: would y'all mind, as far as here and then in
No,
the
we
chat?
wouldn't mind.
Whoa, don't be like that. Would y'all mind if James Gunn interweaved, say, 5 to 8 to 10 years of animated shows, animated films, and live action? Would
think
y'all
that's-
be fine with that?
However they want to do it, but go ahead.
So that is his plan.
Okay.
Actually,
Okay.
that is his plan. His plan moving forward is to have 2 movies. Don't quote me on this, but the plan is essentially to have animated films, live action films, and they all working in conjunction together. So like Creature Commandos
Okay.
is canon in this universe. Those people that played those characters in that movie, if they were to, or in that series, if they were to pop up in anywhere in the DCU, they would be playing them
And
in
then
live
obviously-
action. In live action.
Obviously, who else we saw as well would be in there as well.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Gotcha.
And that's purposely why
For sure.
they didn't show him.
For
You know,
sure.
he
For
was
sure.
just a shadow. Yes,
And
100%.
Maverick, yes, it's better than Hancock, Will Smith, dude.
100%.
Come on now.
Like I know
Moving on.
that was kind
yeah.
of like a troll question,
No,
but
Hancock
at the same
is- no, I
time,
enjoyed
Hancock was good.
Hancock was a fun movie. 'cause
Hancock
it
was fun,
it
but
an
this is
anti-hero.
this is
It's
so much
better.
better than that.
Yeah.
So much better than that.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Moving
and
on.
King, the last thing from King to King says, so it's a world building Superman movie.
Yes.
Yes, it is. 100% it is.
Yeah, absolutely.
100% it is.
All right.
All right, so let's talk about Remix.
Yeah.
So we just found out that we're gonna remake for Running Man. What's going on here? Let's see what this was hidden for.
All right, so we're gonna play the Running Man trailer right now, and then we'll talk about the remakes and stuff right afterwards.
Ben Richards, 35, married, 1 child, in medical crisis.
We need money for a doctor now.
Ben, watch yourself.
Employment status, blacklisted. But there's still a way out for you. It's the biggest show in the country.
Bloodlust is our birthright.
That Lakeith Stanfield?
Yeah, I think so. Oh, him? Oh, that's
The Running Man.
Oh,
Coleman Domingo.
Coleman Domingo. All right.
I'm not trying
Baby
to have
Ernie.
myself killed. Such as land twice.
Right
Ernie
there
Hudson.
is
Okay.
why you can win this game.
Thanos himself.
Rules are simple. Survive 30 days with the entire nation hunting you down. And get your family out of Slumside for good.
Oh, you're right. Okay.
And burn this building down.
Hey, is that the dude that was in that
spirit.
movie?
This is America, goddamn.
It's Glen Powell.
Prototype.
Put up with no bullshit.
What you got?
The main character.
Top
Yeah,
Gun
that's
Maverick?
Glen
Maverick,
Powell.
he was-
That's not who I'm thinking of the movie. I'm thinking of the movie where the computer took over his body after
No.
That's the guy that
Upgrade?
looks like
William H. Macy.
that's the Tom Hardy clone.
Yeah.
The guy you're talking about.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is that Tom Hardy clone there?
No,
No,
that's
no,
not
no.
him.
This is the guy that was in Top Gun Maverick. He was also in
Have you ever wondered?
excuse me. He was also in The Fall Guy.
Michael Cera.
So this is gonna be closely probably to the book and not the.
Seems like
Arnold.
it. Yeah,
That's
like
what they say. Yeah.
Which is good.
Hey, buddy. You're on Freebie.
I can't wait to see this because I miss just action movies like this. I miss action movies.
Back at you.
Crazy.
I'm still here, you shit eaters.
Yeah. I kind of want to go see this.
Hey, big boys!
Oh, that is Michael Cera. Holy crap.
Oh wow. Okay. Wow. Okay.
Nice. Here's the thing.
All right.
Yeah. Well,
Let me-
it's-
let me-
we got
let me-
a little bit.
Let me take this. So
Close it.
to talk
Close
about
it.
to
Yeah,
talk
you
about
gotta
this
move the window.
topic. One thing I want to bring up is that I did some research before we went on live today, and talking about Running Man aside, which looks like a very entertaining film, but Hollywood seems to be on this trend where there's a creative drain. They don't make anything brand new anymore, or if they do make anything brand new, it doesn't seem to be very supported. So I just looked at a list. I went on Google and researched this. Do you guys know in this year alone, including Superman, which is considered a remake / reboot, there are 11 films coming out in this year alone that are remakes. There's How to Train Your Dragon.
Yeah.
There's been Snow White.
Possible.
There's been Mission Impossible isn't necessarily a remake; it's just a continuation, right? Because it still extends. It's the first film series, so it's not really a remake, right? But we're talking Snow White. We already mentioned. There was Superman.
Toxic Avenger.
There was I'm sorry.
Toxic Avenger.
Toxic Avenger is another one. They just announced The Running Man, obviously, is one, and there's like plenty others that are still supposed to be coming out that are remakes. Why do you think that is that remakes seemingly are taking over, and what would you rather them do if they didn't do remakes?
I was gonna say the reason why the remakes keep coming is the same reason why people keep going, because it's familiar and it tastes good. But that's up to your own perception. Sometimes McDonald's, it's familiar. I've seen this before. I've done this before. I want to do it again. But then when it comes out, I hate it. Man, they could have just left it alone and blah blah blah. It's like you could have went to go see that original stuff, because I see the original sci-fi movies that nobody goes to go see, and when they do, they say they're all terrible, and I'm like, no, it was not terrible. You suck.
Fair. Simon says what you think.
Yeah, I think I agree, because like what was it, Valerian and the
Valerian,
that
I
was a
love
great
that
movie. That great
freaking
movie, but like it's like, why are y'all scared to go see something original? If it ain't like Star Wars or Avengers, y'all won't go see it, or any like Marvel movie or something like that. It's like, that's why the reason why most of the directors are moving towards like remakes, because they won't, and like Legend said, it's like they're financially safe bets.
McDonald's.
That's a really good take from him.
Yeah, because like they're not really like anything original comes out, no one will go see unless it's like you said, it's like a good, like either a Star Wars or a Marvel movie. So they have to like deep into their nostalgia bag and try to release movies that are something familiar that people were gonna watch. And again, like everyone says, Hollywood anyway, so that's true as well.
What you think?
Not really add to what these two just said, but that's exactly what it is. And for us, the more seasoned crowd, we're gonna go because to see if it's close to what we remember, as children. And then as far as the younger generation goes, have a handsome face. So then they'll give it a try. But I do know that they're gonna be irate. I can't wait to see them comments about him being with that black woman.
Oh,
Yeah.
you know that's
Hold on.
coming.
I
Oh,
can't
know that's
wait.
coming.
Hold up, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Just remember RoboCop when they redid that one.
Oh,
Oh.
and I
And
really
then-
enjoyed that.
But no. Here's the thing too. Like you said, that blackface. Remember, they added, they changed Lois to a black dude, and I think people were pissed off about that too.
And a man.
And a man, yeah.
Worst part is it's in Detroit. Black people are in Detroit.
All the time.
I don't. Yeah.
Re-highlight that if you can. Preem's one that he said. I wanted to touch on that. He was saying that people are going to hate on this movie because it looks almost like nothing like the movie we grew up with. Like you said, we'll go see how it compares. But they're forgetting the fact that it was a Stephen King book. I think the reason remakes are happening is because the people that were our age when we were younger and saw these films are now our age currently, and they're like, I would love to go back and redo that film I loved. And
Especially
now they're
if
in
you do it
position
right.
and now they're in position to do it. Technology has caught up to all
Yeah.
the various crazy stuff in our imagination. For the longest time, let's look back at 2018, Avengers Infinity War. When we were kids, none of us ever thought that was ever going to happen.
Ever.
Ever. And not even to that level of and again, I'm not saying comic accuracy. It was good enough.
Totally was
For
not.
what you were going to get for, real live action, real money being spent. I mean, there's certain things that you just cannot put on screen. We're almost getting to the point now where that's not even true anymore either. It's like technology has just gone so far, AI, whatever you want to do to fill in the blanks, you can kind of do anything you can imagine. They just got to, unfortunately, if it's not an established property, you probably aren't going to get a whole bunch of money to do it. The remakes, it seemed to be, it's kind of a double-edged sword. It's like, yes, it's familiar. Yes, it's a proven commodity. Problem is, you kind of seen a lot of the stuff already. And again, I'm not, hold on, whoa. Legend, you skip Sinners?
Unacceptable.
Look, it is
Unacceptable. You know what? He was on a
Unacceptable.
roll there for a
Why,
minute, too.
why would you skip anything when you can go see them all? You can see Sinners, you can see Thunderbolts, you can see Final Destination. You know what I did? Guess what? I skipped Final Destination to see Sinners.
I mean, it's a choice. Now, I will say this.
It's a bad choice.
Yeah, but it's a choice, right? And the choice.
Say it. It's
listen,
a bad choice.
I'm not necessarily going to say it's a bad choice because people like what they like.
It's
Now,
a
no,
bad
stop,
choice.
stop. Wait,
You
but-
cannot
wait,
put a number on
No. Yeah, well, stop. I can put a number. Anyway, getting back to what I was saying. What Cameron had touched on a little bit earlier is he said that some people don't have it within their means to go and see everything, so they have to be really picky and choosy with what they go.
They got $2 at every theater. Got a $2 matinee somewhere.
Now, and I'm glad you brought that up because AMC did just come out. I think it was just this week. They said they're going to be dropping their prices to 50% ticket prices on Tuesdays and Wednesdays every week.
Well, yeah, I was already a matinee master though.
Right. But they're
yeah.
doing it now for everybody. On their free Stubs tier, right? So all you got to do is just sign up and give it, Stubs. I mean, but it's free, so you can do it and you get a half ticket off. So they're trying to lower the excuses for people skipping going to the movie theaters and bring them back in.
No.
But
They're
then-
not worried about the excuses.
Yeah.
They don't care about that. They're trying to get butts back in seats after
Yes.
every studio was dumping everything on streaming.
Correct.
2 weeks after it
Correct.
drops in the theater.
Correct.
So let's not act like they're being altruistic and trying to be nice and get. It's like no, they're trying to get butts back in seats because
Yeah.
they're losing money.
And then
Get
they're
their
gonna
money
have
back.
3 hours of ads because they still do the
Right.
movies.
Exactly.
Oh my goodness,
Bro. Hey.
Look at all these people in our chats that are saying they haven't watched Sinners yet. Marcus say 6'4".
Yeah,
Unacceptable.
no.
Marcus say 6'4".
Unacceptable.
One of our
Unacceptable.
longest
Absolutely.
supporters hasn't watched
I
it.
went to go see that movie by myself in the theater. Now
Hey,
about me going
that
to
takes a
theaters
lot.
nowadays.
That takes a
Because
lot for him.
I love movies, and up until a certain time, I would go to movies by myself any time of the day to go see whatever. And then people, they closed down the movie theater that I like to go to because the people stayed away from that one. I went to the movies and these fuckers are on the phone. They're talking. They can't find their seats.
Yeah,
They
man.
got the kids, and times the kids shouldn't even be there. So I typically like to stay at home to watch movies, and I'll wait because comfort on my couch. I can have my own Stubs in my couch.
You know what? I almost don't want to highlight this message, but I'm
Why not? It's the truth.
It is good.
Well, it's a good thing that the other half of his screen name is hidden. But
I don't say it for him. King Ding-a-ling.
That's what it says.
Wrong with that?
That's what it says.
King Ding, it's right there. There's
Anyway,
nothing wrong with that.
Sinners
I'm
is
sorry,
so
go
good.
ahead.
Sinners is good.
It's just to me, and if we could get some respectable people going back to the theaters where they stay off their phone, you're not at home. Why look at your phone when you're at home? You could take
Are y'all gonna
time
give him
out
30
of stuff.
seconds? You need 30 seconds?
I don't even know how much time I need. I'm trying not to raise my goddamn blood pressure. I got work tomorrow.
No, you're 100% right about that. That's part of the reason, like I said, is I don't give a damn how bougie I sound. That's why I go to the theater I go to and try to get the screenings that I get because that's the most expensive ticket.
There you go.
And most people do not want to do that. Most people that have families and kids aren't going to do that. So I know I'll be in there with people that are true moviegoers and true fans. Now, granted, there's some that will still get in there on their phones. That's why I try to pick a seat away from as many
100%.
people as possible. It's a big enough screen, big enough theater, and that's the way to go.
Hasn't seen Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah, to this day, Marcus A64
Are
has
you
not
just
seen.
refusing to do that because it's popular?
I don't know. I don't know what his deal is, but CMSZ, thank you for joining the show. Appreciate you being here. I would love for some of the mods in the chat to take the time to get him caught up while we keep going on forward. You guys are doing great in the chat, by the way, feeding us stuff. Marcus A64, you need to correct that mistake expeditiously, 100%.
I don't know if you can be an authority on not seeing.
Yes, I can.
No, you
Yes, I
cannot.
can.
Nah,
Yes, I can.
no,
Yes, I can. Because I saw it.
Element, bro.
Because I
Fifth
saw it.
Element.
Because I saw it.
Element.
Because I saw
How
it.
long did it take
we
you
had
to see it?
Okay,
damn
great.
near tie
All
you
right, so
down
I'm
and-
gonna tell you what. I'm gonna tell you what. If Cowboy Bebop has been out longer than Fifth Element was when I saw it, because the clock has stopped as of 5 years
Which
ago.
wait,
the clock stopped.
wait,
Cowboy Bebop
The
came
clock
out
stopped.
in 90. It was. I think.
Wait,
98.
is he talking about the movie or is he talking
No,
about?
he's talking about the series.
Oh, the series.
The
Okay.
series. Yeah.
Wait, what series?
Cowboy Bebop. No,
anime?
the original.
The
The
anime.
anime.
The
The
animated
anime.
series.
The anime. Yes.
Oh,
The
okay.
anime. The anime.
Fifth Element came out what 94, 95?
No.
96.
No.
It doesn't-
97 when
it
I was in the
doesn't
movie
matter.
theater.
97.
He's a
97.
Listen, he's a two-time offender anyway. You got the Fifth Element, and then he didn't see Darth Maul get cut in half. He's a two-time offender
that is
anyway.
true.
He's out
That
of here.
is true. 'Cause you said that loud as
But-
all day. And everybody in our row was just looking at you like,
Damn, man.
how did you not see he fell into
But-
two pieces?
For the chat and for all the fellas here, what is your favorite remake, and what remake do you think was an abomination?
Ooh.
Whoever
That's a
wants
good
to go first.
That's a good one. Why don't you go first since you
Well,
put it out there?
no.
That's
It's
not the way
his
this works, huh?
question. I can see where he's going.
Okay.
Well, I'll go then.
Thank you.
Yeah, the day the Earth stood still. That was some bullshit.
Yeah,
Because I saw
yeah.
I know you're laughing, but I saw it was kind of cool. Me, my folks, and my brother, we sat down and we watched the black and white one. I was like, why the fuck is this one better than that new remake?
yeah.
I was like, this is some grade A bullshit. That
Yeah.
this movie was better than the one that came out, the new one. I was like, dog, that's fucked up.
What's your best remake on though?
Best remake. Damn. It is because
Oh, fair.
actually, no, I take it back. I did actually enjoy RoboCop.
I got one.
remake.
Okay.
That was
So
all right.
I
That
got
wasn't
one.
bad.
So I went to the drive-in to go see this because I was excited for it. Tom Cruise's War of the Worlds. That shit was so much trash.
What's wild is I watched that movie like 5 times.
Wow.
Why did you do that to yourself?
I like watching movies, man.
Oh, dog.
Yeah, when you like watching movies, it's a little bit.
Like it'll be on, and then I like to
So it's white noise for you. You push you to sleep.
Well, and I had to tell y'all this.
Oh,
off camera.
That's
But
one
go
of the
ahead.
stories from off air. Okay,
All right,
I got you.
my two.
Wait. What was the positive?
Positive.
What's your good?
The
wait,
good
wait,
you
wait,
had
that's
the bad
one
one.
the one that I loved. Come back to me. I'll have to think about that one a little bit more.
All right, y'all got to be quick on. Bro.
I
My worst is War of the Worlds because I've seen the
That shit
original.
was so bad.
And the Tom Cruise one, I just didn't like it. I'm just
For
sorry.
sure.
I just didn't like it. But my best remake, as far as and again, I found out it was a remake after I saw it, was Gone in 60 Seconds with Nick Cage and Angelina Jolie and all that.
Yeah,
no,
that's
that
a good
remake of that was.
Oh, that's a
good.
great one.
That one was solid. I loved that movie. Like that movie was just really well done, and it was fun. Music was hitting.
Oh yeah.
Like it was just like, and then they had the old crew teaching the new crew. I mean, I'm sorry, the new crew teaching the old crew. So I mean, it was just
Yeah.
It was just cool. I'm sorry, the old crew teaching the new crew. But it was good.
Ladito?
Yes, sir.
Well, I don't think this remake is better than the original because, in my honest opinion, the original is still my favorite, and that's Dawn of the Dead. But I enjoyed Dawn of the Dead remake.
The Snyder one?
Yes, the Snyder one. I really liked it, but I liked the original one better, but I enjoyed that remake. And when it comes to a bad remake, it's kind of hard to add movies that I personally
There's one right there.
do not like.
There's some good ones. There's some good ones. out
There's
there.
one right there.
I didn't hate the Total Recall
Yeah.
remake. I didn't hate it because the plot was exactly the same. It's just it was not on ours and it didn't have Arnold Schwarzenegger, but it was the exact same. It was the same freaking plot.
It was cool.
Yeah,
I enjoyed that one.
RoboCop, I liked that one. It wasn't as satirical as the original RoboCop, and it wasn't trying to be. It was just, but it's kind of hard to go for a bad remake that I saw that I can remember because I try not to put too much thought and space in my brain for stuff like that.
So wait, so this may or may not be cheating, but I'm gonna put it out there because the chat put it out there, and it actually does make sense for a remake that was absolutely so abominably bad that you just want to scrub it from your head. What about Ghostbusters 2016, the one with the all female cast?
I didn't think it was horrible. I'm saying for me. Oh, you were saying careful because I was about to say something.
No, I said I didn't care for it.
Oh, you didn't care for it.
Okay.
I thought you said
Yeah,
careful
yeah.
because my brain.
Careful, yes.
Because somebody who used to be really important in my life liked that movie.
Of course they did. Of course they did.
And I didn't think it was like bad, but I didn't think it touched the original ones at all. Like it was just like it was. I thought it was.
Oh my
entertaining.
goodness! Oh my goodness! Legend, are you serious with that?
Wow, his best one was that one. Okay.
2016. He says that was his best
Mortal Kombat
remake.
Annihilation wasn't a remake. What the heck, bro?
Ghost and Gladiator, and Gladiator 2
wasn't a
not
remake.
either.
No, that's y'all
That's
are
the
failing
same.
the assignment here.
Yeah.
I remember the American Godzilla because when I watch bad movies, even though I can feel entertained by them, I don't keep them up here because why am I keeping stuff like that in my brain?
All right, no, I got a question then for y'all. What about what movie would you want to see?
That's
Back to the Future. No, I'm just joking.
Honestly, you know what? No.
I was talking
No,
to
we
Prem
shouldn't do
about
that.
this the other day.
Yeah,
Back
man.
to the Future were to be filmed to come out today.
You know what?
30 years would be 1995, and I don't think teenagers today will have that much hard of a time in 1995. Yes, things are different. Cell phones are different, but they existed. But they're not like how they are.
Right.
Internet existed, slower. Video games existed. It's PlayStation 1.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it's just
it wouldn't be a huge culture shock like him going from the 80s back to the 50s.
Yeah.
Like, that was a huge culture shock for him. It was like, bro, I don't understand anything for the most part.
Guys, so address this one for King Camor. So Jumanji, the one with Rock and that's not a remake, that is a sequel. Because it is more or less they acknowledge the events of the previous movie in this one. And they find the original board that Robin Williams was trapped.
And I also liked that remake only in the sense that they updated it. They turned it into like a video game.
They
instead
made it
of
better.
A board game. Yeah, it was fun. Go ahead.
I'm gonna say something blasphemous. I don't care, but I would like to see The Good and Bad and the Ugly remade with Scott Eastwood.
Sure.
Because he looks like his dad.
Yeah, he does. Okay.
And he can pull it off too. I think
that's blasphemous.
I don't think he doesn't have the only thing. The reason why I say blasphemous is because he doesn't have his dad's gruffy voice. That's all.
And again, that's
but he can still pull it off because he has the look. He can look just like his dad.
Now the one Western they better never touch, and we've talked about this.
They
Is
better not
Tombstone.
ever.
If they try to touch Tombstone, I will actively boycott that. You can't do that one.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, that's off the books. You can't touch that one. That one's
Yes, man.
And I normally don't say that.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Tombstone is
pretty dope.
perfect as is. I don't want to see nobody else mess with that one.
Demolition Man doing. Like, some movies.
No, Action Jackson would be cool.
It's like they're talking about trying to do a sequel to Goonies or whatever. Goonies they need to leave alone.
It's
Like,
over.
Back to
The
Future,
time
they
is
should
over.
Leave alone.
Big
Time
Trouble
is
in
over.
Little China.
Big Trouble in Little China should definitely leave alone because I heard The Rock wanted to remake it and it's gonna make it all about him.
Yeah,
but that movie was Kurt Russell was the main character in for our eyes.
Yeah,
but he was not the main character
Kurt Russell
in the
was,
story.
He was the audience basically,
Yeah.
kind of sort of.
Yeah, he was the background. He's the
So let me ask this. So for me, The remake that I thought was good was the Thomas Crown Affair with Pierce Brosnan.
Oh,
yeah. That's solid.
I thought that was
Yeah,
fan-
solid.
I thought that was
Yeah.
fantastic.
You know they're doing that again, don't you?
Yes,
With Michael B. Yeah.
With Michael B. this time, which is yet another remake that they're doing. But anyway, as far as like one I would love to see,
Star Wars.
I
is
think
a
I would love
remake.
to see at this
789
point, and maybe I'm crazy for thinking it, but
Dare say Fifth Element.
no, that would be very on point, wouldn't it? No, I would love to see him take a stab at Last Action Hero.
If they would do Last Action Hero, I would not want it to be a remake. I wanted it to be somebody finds that ticket and they don't know what the ticket's about.
Yeah.
And they get sucked into
Iguana's
a movie
funny.
that's not Arnold's movie, but just like some.
Yeah, if they just
Iguana funny.
yeah, almost like a continuation of it or something. But yeah, because to me, Last Action Hero was not appreciated. It just
it
wasn't.
wasn't.
That
No, it
movie
was not.
so
No, it was not.
good.
Yeah.
If you look
Absolutely
at it,
was
just
not.
for it was like, bro, it was hitting meta jokes and all that stuff way before anybody was trying to do that mainstream.
But yes,
King Cam is absolutely right. Fan Forstic was a terrible remake.
That wasn't his fault though. That was just
Oh, no, it absolutely wasn't his fault.
that was just bad all the way
studio
around.
was
Studio,
remake to
yeah.
keep the contract.
Yeah, that was bad all the way
but
around.
ironically, those are my two. 7,
Mhm.
4, garbage.
Wait, hold.
Fair.
So are you saying King Takeem? Are you saying you want Double Dragon to be remade, or are you saying it was the most horrible one?
It wasn't a remake.
No,
No. Remember, the question is, what do you want to see
Oh,
remade?
so he has to,
Yeah,
he
he
has
does.
to want
Oh, you're
it to
right.
be
Right.
remade.
He
They
must
never-
have. Yeah, that's right. That's
Yeah,
true.
no,
I'm sorry.
that's the
Excuse me.
question. Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, you're right.
No, Double Dragon remade would be interesting because I mean, Mark Dacascos. I mean, he was young as hell in that movie,
Mhm.
and forgot who played the other.
But would they do it right? Because like
they
that
need
was
Marshall.
Double Dragon just in name.
Yeah.
It had nothing to do with what we know as a plot of Double Dragon, which is
Yeah.
extremely simple.
Well, hold on. Didn't that one kind of tie into the Shadow Falls and all that other
Nope.
stuff? Cartoon. So that was just way off all
Yeah.
on its own thing.
Oh, it's not.
So they literally
oh.
just, like you said, bought the license to the name and
Yeah.
okay, we put the script on.
If
here.
we get what was his name, the Shadow Master, and that Billy Jimmy Lee, if that would be, I wouldn't mind that.
Hold on. So who? Wait. Wasn't Robert Patrick in that movie?
Yeah.
Yes, he was.
Who was he? Then?
I
He
don't
wasn't
even
named
remember.
bad.
I don't acknowledge
Shallow.
that
He
movie
was like
even
Shallow
existed.
or
But it was
something like
not
that.
The cartoon.
Oh wow.
I don't
Alyssa
acknowledge
Milano
that
was in that
movie
movie
ever
too.
existed.
I remember that. I remember
Yeah.
like they cast. Okay, again.
So look at it. So Iguana Man says this, and this is we're doing great in the chat, and it's over. It's over
Yeah.
10 o'clock, but
Yeah.
we gotta let it ride. We gotta let it ride. So He Got Game needs a remake. I like that as a concept, but who would you want to play Ray Allen's role?
Anthony Edwards.
Yeah. Anthony
Ray.
Edwards.
But he might be a little bit too old now. You might need something like a fresh young guy just coming right into the league.
He like
Listen,
23.
hold on.
Yeah, but
Hold on.
still,
How about
24.
this? How we change it up? How we change it up?
Okay.
Rick, was it
I
Cooper
thought he was about
Flag?
to say Ric Flair. You said, huh?
No.
Go sorry.
I was thinking Cooper Flag.
Oh.
Change it up.
Oh,
Oh,
see,
you
Change
guys
it
talking
up.
about basketball
See?
players currently? I don't know
Now,
none of these
see,
guys.
that would be
Who
good.
plays
That-
basketball now? I
Cooper
don't know these
Flag,
Yeah.
Cooper Flag in the Ray Allen role, I
Yeah.
think would be inspired. So who would play the Denzel role? It'll have to be somebody white, right?
No,
Not
no,
necessarily.
Interesting.
It
Could
be
have had a stepdad that had a handle. Hey son, let me help you out, and then but or it could be,
Yeah.
a flag. Though. I mean, but can he act?
Yeah, I
It's
see that.
just-
You're
yeah.
always going to come back to that. If you-
Listen.
That's why I said
Yeah.
Anthony
Listen.
Edwards because he was already in the movie
Listen,
and did
Ray
well.
Allen did good enough, and he didn't have no damn acting chops either.
I mean,
So-
but Ray
Hold on,
Allen.
hold on.
was-
But
Hold
Ray
on,
Allen was
hold on,
essentially playing
hold on.
himself
No,
anyway.
Hold on.
No.
Didn't you say Denzel was in the movie?
Yeah, Denzel was in the
He
movie.
had acting classes on set.
There you go.
I'm just going
And-
straight up.
And Spike was directing. So
Right.
yeah,
He had
and
acting
he
classes
surrounded
every
him.
day.
Yeah.
He surrounded him with thespians. There was
Yeah.
Hill Harper, and there was the one light skinned guy who always loved his movies, but can never remember his. But don't be like that. Don't be like that.
All right, we are definitely
What?
we definitely ran over about 9 minutes. So
Fix that immediately.
yes,
I would love to.
No, y'all
Yeah.
got to come back next week.
yeah,
Go
we
ahead.
we here. It's about that time to say goodbye to.
White Man, I didn't watch the White Man Can't Jump remake. I
Yeah.
Yo, I didn't watch that either.
Nobody did.
I didn't watch that
Nobody
either.
did.
I don't think it was that bad.
Yeah,
But
but again,
the original was a classic.
See,
It was.
yeah,
classic.
it wasn't nowhere as
That's the
good.
problem.
but yeah, it's about that time, ladies and gentlemen. I'm glad everybody came through. The chat was popping.
Yes, it was.
My homies here, we did the
Absolutely.
thing.
Yeah, the best chat that we've had.
Yeah, best chat ever. I
Best
think
chat we had on
yeah,
YouTube.
hopefully
we got to do it right. We got to make it.
He said, Dylan, you son of a
bitch.
Oh no, that mic's in the way for that one. You gotta get that Hulk Hogan and Macho Man handshake.
Yeah, but
I'm
definitely,
Macho Man though.
yeah, definitely come
Yo.
back 9:00 Eastern Standard. We will definitely be talking about that Superman because I really want to spoil.
Yeah,
Can't do it right now.
Go see it.
Go see it.
Yes.
Yeah.
When does it drop?
Yeah, absolutely. It
Yeah,
drops
this
it drops
Friday
Thursday
tomorrow.
Okay.
and Friday. I'm probably gonna go see it at least 2 times before the weekend is over.
Oh wow.
Damn.
Just because I do that, but I want you all to come back so you can tell us exactly what you think of it. Yash, I see you out there. You probably have seen it, and I hear your thoughts. But come back next week because we're gonna rank them all where it falls within lines of all the previous Superman.
Who you
movies
trying to
that
take
we've
to the
seen.
movies twice before the weekend?
What?
Oh, your kid's grown. What you trying to take to the movies?
Who says I need my kids to go with me to the movies?
I didn't say.
You just asking the question, man.
Right,
Why you
yeah.
getting so?
Hey,
so
listen,
defensive.
Man, listen,
Yeah.
man. You let me worry about me.
Oh,
Let me worry about me.
Okay. I'm trying to get you hooked up or something.
I mean, hey, I'll take it.
You said you good, so
Yeah,
don't worry about it.
Okay, yeah, I know he lied. Anyway, so
Oh,
go ahead, y'all.
All right. See y'all. We out.
legend or Marcus or whoever's